Hey babies, I know I look like shit and I am not even sorry for it. I feel like shit, man. Seriously. Not with sickness. I'm about to have to go to the store and get some alcohol so I can get my drink on. Then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna finish this video. Is this piece of equipment gonna work? I'm just gonna go ahead and tell y'all, yeah, my heart is broken because of this motherfucker. I'm not gonna keep doing it. Honey, we made a porn and everything else. If any of y'all want to see it, I'll be more than happy to show it to you. So just ask. I'll put my information at the beginning of this video. I don't know. It takes a real piece of fucking work. To be perfectly honest, I could never, ever hurt a human being the way that people have hurt, like, me. Or the way that people hurt one another. I don't understand it. A lot of people say that I'm out here doing these videos to get attention. That is certainly not true. I don't fucking care about the attention at all. All I am doing is sitting here talking because when you don't have a mother or a father who give a shit, when you don't have a sister whom you raised yourself who doesn't give a shit, when you can't keep a man around that gives a shit, it can make you feel completely worthless. I have had boyfriends who have had wives that they never told me about, and then I found out about it. And of course I'm going to confront them about it. Girlfriends that they never told me about. Children that they have never told me about. And then I found out about all that shit. I am a fucking attorney. It's not like it's that difficult to do. Where on this fucking globe is a person who is halfway decent? Why is it a fucking act of Congress to find somebody I'm telling y'all what, since my grandparents died, I haven't had anybody, nobody. I'm out here doing everything by myself. And no person should be subjected to that. And these fucking cocksuckers that want to use me and abuse me and fucking treat me like I don't matter whenever they follow their dick to a greener pasture, or I don't have any money anymore to give them anything, or my sister gets promoted and I get fired from a job that I loved. You don't ever turn your back on your family. And I cried on here. Y'all can whip my ass later. I don't know. I think I'm just going to publish this video and you guys can do whatever the fuck. You know, I mean, seriously. Come on now. I get over shit real quick. I'm built Ford tough because I have to be. And I need a man who isn't a fucking pussy. Sorry, I just had a little cough fit. I need a man who isn't a fucking pussy that can do that with me. And I don't know where the fuck that person even exists on this globe. At any rate, getting past all that, I love you guys. Thank you for listening. Don't think I'm on here for attention, because I'm not. I just want somebody to talk to. Babies, Mama's back, and hopefully this microphone that I am using will appropriately capture my voice. Because it was expensive as fuck, so, hopefully. Current events in my life. Give me 1 second and let me fix this fucking camera. I'm telling y'all what, the links that I go to and through to make one of these fucking videos, you would not believe. You have to adjust this camera. The microphone on my computer does not fucking work, so I had to go out and purchase a headset and a microphone and all that bullshit just so I can communicate clearly to all of you. Honey, it's it's as much as the computer costs, you would think that everything on it would work appropriately, but it doesn't. So, it's a fucking money pit. The good thing is I'm hands-free now. I don't have to, like, focus a lot. You can clearly see the bed behind you. My bed is a fucking disaster. I'm telling you what, I have been so fucking depressed since I lost my job. Honestly, I should right now be calling this other place that wants to hire me. But I'm not doing that because I'm talking to you. I have total bedhead. As you can clearly see, my hair is fucked up. I don't even fucking care. I'm telling you, I have... And the weather here in North Carolina is not the most pleasant. It for the past month has rained. It is dreary outside. It is so fucking depressing. It is unreal how depressing this weather is. And on top of everything else, I met this guy. Great motherfucker. He has to be, probably since my ex-fiance, the sweetest, most caring guy that I have ever met. This fucker is amazing. But I'm going to tell you what happened. We're hanging out. He comes and spends the night. I met him online, which shocks me all by itself, because I tell you every time I make one of these videos not to meet people online, because it's a clusterfuck. 98% of them just want to fuck you. This guy was not that way. However, because of that, we had sex from the moment he walked through the fucking door until 24 hours exactly later. We were in every fucking position that you can possibly imagine. He snuggles, which normally I can't stand that shit. I do not like being fucking touched. But with him, I could not stop kissing him. From the moment he walked through the door, our connection was just way extreme. So anyway, shortly after one of our sexual episodes, he informs me that he was dating this girl, and he had just broken up with her like a week or so before he met me. After one of our sexual episodes, he sends this girl a video of me rubbing his feet And of course, she's gonna flip the fuck out. She's like, don't ever fucking contact me again, blah, 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 blah. So I guess he takes that shit to heart. And we proceed to having sex again. For any of you who know me, and for those of you who do not know me, I'm going to tell you. I do not like drama, and just the mere fact that he did that did not even faze me. I do not know why women think that, or people think that they own their partner. You do not. I am probably one of the most understanding, chill women that you will, or people actually, that you will ever fucking meet. You sending a video to your ex does not faze me in the least bit, because you're with me right then. He was telling me how, during this entire time that he was here, for probably 36 hours, how much he loved me. I was saying the same thing, because our connection just, it was like love at first sight. There was a friendship there, everything, the whole fucking package. So anyway, he goes home the next day, well, night, in the middle of the fucking night. And he's there, where he lives like 30 minutes away. He's there for no more than 30 minutes and is calling me and telling me that his dad just threw him out because he got in a fight with his dad, the police were called, blah, 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 blah. His dad had stolen his money, all of this. So he's asking me if he can come back up here and move in. And of course I'm gung-ho for that shit. But anyhow, after that, it takes him like 2 hours to fucking call me back, and I'm calling him, left and right, trying to make sure he's okay and not in fucking jail somewhere. So he's not answering the phone, and I'm tired from fucking all night the night before. I mean, and that does exhaust a person. So I go to sleep, and my head had no more than hit the pillow probably, and I passed the fuck out, and he's blowing up my phone. So, of course, I'm asleep, and I don't hear the phone. So he drives halfway up here, and then turns around and goes back home, because he doesn't want to sleep in a cold car. So, the next morning I call him, and I'm like, where the fuck are you at? So he's like, well, Dad and I work things out so I can stay. And I'm like, okay, well, fuck it. Later that night, of course, I'm depressed as fuck, because I have been since I lost my job. He calls me, and he's high as a motherfucker. So, he's not making himself very clear. And he proceeds to tell me that he's talking to other girls. What he meant to say was, he was talking to his ex. Which does not even fucking faze me. Sorry. I'm not that kind of girl. I'm not possessive like that. I'm very protective over my men, but I'm not that fucking crazy to be possessive and pitch a fit and do all that. At the time, though, I did pitch a fit because I thought that I had just been used for sex, because he said he was talking to other girls, not his ex. And that's only because of the miscommunication, because he was high as a fucking kite. So I threw a fit. And I do mean, I can get pretty fucking crazy whenever I think that you're sitting here telling me that you love me and you're talking to other fucking women online. Seriously? No. So anyhow, I blocked his number and did all this. Well, the next day, I decide that I'm gonna try to just play amateur detective and find out what the fuck's going on for real. So I unblock his number and call him, and he's like, I miss you so much, baby, and blah, 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 blah. And we discussed everything, and he told me that he was talking to his ex, not other girls, and that she and I were the only two people that he was talking to. So I was like, baby, that is perfectly fucking normal. I mean, people do that. If you have feelings for someone, that's what you do. And it's perfectly okay to do that. You don't... But you need to express that to me in an appropriate way. Don't say I'm talking to other girls. And yeah, of course, it was the whole high thing. I was high I didn't realize what I was saying and all this. So yeah, and he's very trustworthy. So I believed. Sorry, my nose itches. I believe him. At any rate, let me pause this for a second. He needs to tell me that, and I need a shot of beer for that. For this, he is still in love with her. That he told her that we had had sex. I'm like, oh my god. So anyhow, I know how that shit plays out. I am understanding about that kind of thing. But most people are not. And I told him, baby, if we need to set some ground rules. First of all, don't ever, ever, ever tell a woman that you had sex with another woman, because if you're trying to get back with your ex, she's going to hold that shit against you for fucking ever. So you might as well hang it up, because you've already let the cat out of the bag. She's never going to forgive you for that shit. We women do not do that. I don't. If a woman does do that, it would be a shock to me. If my ex was trying to get back with me and told me that he had had sex with some other woman, I'd be like, no, it's not gonna happen. With his youth, that's what he did. So I told him, it's like, this is how shit's gonna play out, baby. And I said, do not burn bridges. You know, I'm understanding. If you ever need to talk to me about having sex with her or your relationship with her, that's perfectly fine. I will be completely understanding. I'm not going to judge you, because I do care about him very deeply. But, I mean, even if nothing happens between us, I mean, he's asking me these questions, well, if I get back with her, can we still be friends and do all this? And I'm like, of course we're still going to be friends, because you never know how a relationship is going to play out. And I do care about you, so I want you to be around. I want you to be part of my life. But with his youth, he doesn't get a lot of those things. He doesn't understand that. So he tries to blame himself and do all this, and I'm like, you can't do that, honey. You gotta just go with the flow and let shit happen and see how it plays out. You can't predict the future. I don't predict the future, you know. You never know what's going to happen. And guys, I know I make these videos extremely long. I should probably shut up a little bit, but a lot of people love the fact that I talk forever and ever. There is an entire smorgasbord of things that have happened to me. When they say that idle hands are the devil's playground, that is no fucking joke. I am so bored since I have not worked. I'm a workaholic, honey. When I go into work, my employers have to practically beg me to leave. I will not leave of my own volition. I will work until everything is done, but everything is never done, so I'll just continue to find things to do. Oh my god, I have literally lost so many friends lately. And people, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with people. There is something seriously wrong with most people. I mean, it blows my fucking mind. I'm going to elaborate on that, which I'm sure you were waiting for. I went to court with one of my girlfriends the other day. The girl that I had told you about in the previous video with the crazy ass daughter who had to move in with me because her husband threw her out, did all this. These motherfuckers are crazy. Okay? They are fucking crazy. The whole of them are crazy. There's three. Her husband, and her daughter. And I thought that she was like my best friend. No. Mm-mm. A few months ago, I was at work. She comes into work and starts showing everybody how her husband beat the shit out of her the night before. Bruises, scratches, the whole, the whole, um, the whole gambit. It was fucking horrible. So anyhow, her husband has the fucking audacity to walk into our store and try to order coffee. And one of the girls, who happens to be one of my friends, like verbally attacked him. So he leaves violently, and she chases him into the fucking parking lot. And he practically backs up over her. Yeah, this is why my videos are so long. Most of them is pouring beer and smoking cigarettes. He tries to back up over her because this motherfucker is crazy. Not to mention the fact he is so goddamn ugly. I would not touch him with somebody else's vagina. This motherfucker is ugly. They are nasty as fuck. I went over to their house. One of my friends went over to their house with me the first time I had ever been in their house, which was over the past week. Actually, this past weekend. Today's Thursday, January 15th. These motherfuckers, I'm telling you, are so fucking filthy. I would not even sit on their toilet. I had to pee so bad. I would not even sit on their toilet. It was that disgusting. Honey, there is nothing in order in their house. There's shit all over the fucking floors. They have like 3 birds, 2 snakes, let's see, about 5 dogs, approximately 8 cats, like 4 or 5 lizards, a couple fish, fucking aquariums everywhere. It's like a goddamn pet shop in there. And there is dog shit and cat shit all over the fucking floors. The whole entire house is beautiful. Hardwoods that you can't even see the fucking hardwoods because of all the shit on the floors. That's how bad it is. Seriously. I believe that a mop has never fucking touched that floor. There were dishes, literally plates with food on them in the fucking floor. The entire kitchen sink, both sides of it, were filled up with beer cans. You couldn't even see the fucking cabinet. There were so many fucking beer cans in that house. And this bitch has all fucking audacity or the stupidity level, to show me around her house and then pull out this big ass fucking garbage bag, like with those, I don't know how many gallons, one of those big black trash bags that you put leaves and shit in. She pulls out one of them motherfuckers and it is full of beer cans. Full of beer cans. Like, you couldn't even fit another can into this shit. They don't crush them or anything, they just throw them in there. Oh my god. I do not know how anybody can live like that. MRSA was the first thought in my brain. The longer we sit here, the more likely it is that we're going to catch something. So anyhow, because her husband beat the shit out of her, my friend from work, who almost got backed over, pressed charges against this motherfucker. So we go to court the other day, and oh my god, the drama alone. There's no soap opera that could compete. We go to court. We're all three sitting in different places. My friend who almost was run over, because I was a witness to it, so I had to go. Somehow or another, when I went down to the magistrate with her, I was written down as a witness, which I barely even saw anything. But anyhow, because of that, I had to go to court. So we're all three sitting in this big triangle in the courtroom. Of course, I'm giving everybody legal advice because that's what I do. My attorney's there, and he's like, Jessica, what the fuck are you doing here? You don't even have court today. You don't have court for another month. And I'm like, dude, I'm here with her, and blah, 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 blah. So anyhow, we go into court. And the stupidity level I was talking about people earlier, this black girl literally cusses out the bailiff. Of course, by the end of the day, she had to have a trial of her own that happened immediately that day because the judge that we were under, that was ruling over everything, is a stickler for everything. If you have a cell phone, he will snatch that motherfucker away from you and bust it into a million pieces right in front of you. He does not care. And he has the right to do that. Because posted all over the courtroom is no cell phones, no cell phones. No weapons, blah, 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 blah. Everybody that's been to court knows how that shit works. No, this black girl cusses out the bailiff. She gets thrown in jail for 48 hours, which is 2 days. For those of you who cannot add, subtract, multiply, or divide. Then it comes to this other woman who apparently was being harassed by some younger guy sitting behind her in court. So she, like, at the top of her lungs is like, bailiff, you're gonna have to, like, shut this motherfucker up and all this. And so the bailiff, who had just already been cussed out by some black girl, takes both of them up to the front, and they both go to jail. Honey, when you go into a courtroom, I mean, I may have experience as an attorney, but when you go into a courtroom, you shut the fuck up. You do not talk unless you're at a low whisper directly into someone's ear. You do not hold conversations with the people in the pews, the church pews that they make you sit in. You do not hold conversations with them. You do not scream out in the courtroom because you will be held in contempt. You do not verbally or physically attack the bailiff. People, come on now. You do not sit there and text on your fucking cell phone. You put that shit away. If you have to bring it into the courtroom, you put it on silent. You don't sit there and play on your fucking phone. Honey, I couldn't be a judge. I could not be a judge. Oh my God, the stress of it alone. I could not be a judge. I'd run that fucking courtroom like a goddamn concentration camp. No. I love the judge that was presiding over court the other day. He's so sexy. But anyway, on a lighter note, get my hormones involved. It's that time of the month, so of course. Anyhow, we go outside the courtroom. We take lunch, go outside the courtroom. The girl from work, who's my friend, and I meet up. One of our other friends from work is there for something totally different. We're all standing in the hall talking, and Psycho boy that got charges pressed against him for numerous things, trying to run over my girlfriend, beating the fuck out of his wife, doing all this, wants to cop a fucking attitude and, like, feed his girlfriend or wife or whatever the fuck you want to call her a bunch of false information. So she drives up to court and comes. I'm sitting in the vehicle with my girlfriend because her husband had drove off and left me, and or the other girls. It's a big fucking clusterfuck. So I'm sitting in the vehicle with the woman who was practically run over, who had pressed the charges to begin with, who had every intention of dropping the charges against this psycho motherfucker. And I don't know why she would do that to begin with, but she was going to. So anyhow, we're sitting in her vehicle smoking a fucking cigarette. And of course I'm kicking back a 40 because the stress, you know how much I hate court. Everybody out there knows if you've watched my videos. It's long, tedious process. We're sitting in her vehicle smoking a cigarette, and here comes my other girlfriend, who was still my girlfriend then, my best friend, comes up to her window and practically knocks her fucking window out of her truck. She had just had a conversation with her boyfriend or husband or whatever. They're not really married. They're common law married because they've been together for more than 7 years. So she practically knocks the damn window out of my girlfriend's truck, and when my girlfriend rolls the window down, this bitch is like, what the fuck is going on? Y'all said you were going to drop these charges and all this, and I was like, we haven't had the opportunity to do that. You don't get to go into court and automatically approach the judge or the district attorney and drop charges. You have to wait until you're called, and no one has been called in this little group yet. So she calms down for a minute. Well, I get out of the vehicle and I'm like, girl, calm the fuck down, you know? Well, her ex, or her boyfriend, what the fuck ever, is like provoking her right in front of the courthouse. So she starts threatening my other friend who's sitting in her vehicle. And trust me, this is like a 60-year-old woman. She starts talking about the other girl whose husband had the charges pressed. Starts talking about how she's going to knock my other girlfriend's teeth out and shit like this. And I'm sitting here right in front of the courtroom. So she's got everybody's fucking attention. 2 cops come out there and they're like, ma'am, you need to calm the fuck down, pretty much. Well, no, she doesn't calm down. So that leads to my girlfriend that was sitting in the vehicle goes inside the courthouse for protection. The other bitch is out here flailing around, wanting to fight and do all this, cussing at the top of her fucking lungs. The entire city of Hickory probably heard her. I mean, I was like, girl, calm down. So I try to give her a hug to calm her the fuck down. And the cops are like, what the fuck is going on? They're like, who is this woman to you? And she says, give me 1 second. So she says, she pressed charges against my husband. She's a co-worker. And she pressed charges against my husband, and she's cussing and calling my other girlfriend all kinds of names in the fucking book, and she's like, the fucking cunt was supposed to have the charges dropped, and she's telling this to 2 officers. So, the officers are like, ma'am, you need to leave the courtroom premises or you're going to go straight to fucking jail. So she gives the cops a hard time for another 2 or 3 minutes, and then storms off. Walks off in the pouring fucking rain back to her house, I suppose. So at any rate, the cops and I are like, because trust me, the cops around the courtroom know me because I'm in there all the fucking time. They're like, Jessica, what the fuck's going on? And I'm like, dude, I tried to calm her down. They were like, I know, we saw that. Then the bitch is fucking crazy. And so is her boyfriend or husband or whatever the fuck you want to call him. And they're like, yeah, we know. You see, I walked back in with the 2 cops into the court, and my other girlfriend who had pressed the charges and my the girl who stormed off's husband, are standing there talking. And they are screaming at each other at the top of their lungs in the fucking courthouse. And I'm like, what is going on? So me and the cops are like, oh my fucking God. We all three walk over there together, and they're like, sir, do you have a fucking problem? And they're like, you're not even supposed to be within 50 feet of her, so why the fuck are y'all standing over here having a conversation? And she's like, she pops up and is like, he's telling me that I pressed all these fake charges and all this, and I better drop him or he's going to do this, that, and the other. And the bailiff was pretty much like, you two need to separate. This is a courthouse. If you're at the top of your lungs, either one of you, again, you're going straight to fucking jail. When you go into this courtroom, because court is, again, in session, if you go into this courtroom and you sit anywhere near one another, you will be arrested. So we go into the courtroom. My girlfriend and I are sitting there talking to one another. This motherfucker's giving us dirty looks the entire time. I'm telling y'all what, that's a 30-minute conversation. He gives us dirty looks. My girlfriend has the charges dropped. The dude storms out of the fucking courtroom, and then he starts calling and threatening the both of us. That is not a pretty picture, because I'm not a bitch that you want to threaten ever. Anybody who knows me knows that. So, sorry babies, but that was that guy that I was telling you about that I met, who's the sweetest person ever. He was texting me, and I didn't want you guys to have to like watch it, but he's probably going to continue to text me. Who fucking knows? I just, whatever, you know. He's probably sitting there with his fucking ex-girlfriend or whatever talking to me. I don't fucking know what the hell's wrong with people. But anyway, I told him to whatever, text me later. And anyway, I'm going to stop talking about that court shit, because as funny as it was, as agitating as it was, I don't even want to fucking remember it. So, I don't know why my nose itches so bad. Have y'all noticed that shit? I keep like, itching my nose. I called my sister yesterday. First time we've spoken since I was terminated from my job. And I asked her to bring me somewhere to return an item. She's like, okay, I'll be over there in a little bit. Let me take a bath, do all this. No. She has got her head so far shoved up this motherfucker, that employee that I was telling you about. Yeah. She was at his house while she was talking to me, and I was like, okay, whatever. Seriously? Mind you, I lent her, I wanted to say this bitch, but I didn't say that. I lent her over $100 and some odd within a month before I was terminated from my job. So I asked her to bring me somewhere, end of story. Out of sisterlyhood, you would think that she would have. She tells me she's coming. Bitch never shows up. So by 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock last night, I was like, what the fuck? Are you serious? So I text the bitch. I was like, I want to tell you what. I go out of my way to take care of you. It's that simple. I raised my sister. So, which in itself, whatever. You would think she would have a little bit more sisterly bondhood or respect or whatever. I text the bitch, and I was like, next fucking time you need me, do not use my number. Do not write a letter to me. Do not fucking call me. Do not send me a telegraph. Do not send me an SOS. I said, if you are going to act like this, then the next time you need me, I will make sure that I have my head shoved up some fucking guy's ass as far as you have yours shoved up this motherfucker's. This is the second, actually the third, after her husband. He was obviously the first. Since him, my sister has acted fucking completely insane. Of course, he was abusive as hell. But now, every time she gets with a guy, and there's been 2 since her husband, and she's still married, she shoves her fucking head so far up their ass, it's insane. I mean, you would think that if some guy had beat the shit out of you, like they have me, you would be a little bit more, not so close to them. I have a hard time keeping a relationship now because of my past. But with my rational mindset, I try to explain that to my new partners, whoever they may be. And the only person who has even remotely understood that is this new guy that I've been talking to, who is still in love with his fucking ex. So, honestly, I just had a deja vu moment, and then moments later he started texting me to say he's still texting me. Hang on 1 second, guys. Y'all are gonna love this shit. There's no question about mine and his future. Apparently he got back with his ex, so fuck him. See what I'm saying? These motherfuckers want to lie constantly, do all this shit, break a bitch's heart, whatever. Go your own motherfucking way. Because I'm here to tell you that because he and I had a relationship, his ex he just got back with is going to hold that shit against him forever because he told her that we had sex. So, when he comes trying to run back, end of story. Heart closed. There's no key to open it again. You lost your fucking chance. I'm so fucking sick of people lying all the goddamn time. There is absolutely no reason for you, whoever you may be, to lie. All lying does is set up a trap. You have to keep lying. I'm stressed out, yeah, because I really like this dude. And it sucks. And yeah, my heart is broken. I'm not going to cry on here, hopefully. Honey, I've had exes. I had one last night. And there's not that many of them. I had one last night write me on Facebook and say, "Baby, why don't you send me some dirty pictures so I can remember what I've been missing?" And I'm like, motherfucker, please. Are you serious? I'm not a goddamn call girl. It's not dial up Jessica and... You know, that's your fucking problem. I don't want you back. It just... I don't know, guys. It really fucking sucks. To know that somebody can tell you that they love you and then do the shit that some of these people do. And it's not just men. Women do the same shit. It just sickens me. I have a lot of responsible shit that I need to do, but I don't know. Give me. The funny part is, after this motherfucker just texted what he just texted about getting back with his girlfriend, he still wants to have a conversation with me. Motherfucker, take a hike. I'm not even going to respond to your shit. And I know you're going to watch this video, so there you go. You can have your fucking ex, and when she throws your ass out, like she's going to do, don't fucking come crying to me. You need to find some other bitch to do that with. I'm not having it. I'm not doing that shit. I don't fucking care how goddamn sweet you are. am not playing these fucking little relationship games because you're too goddamn immature to realize what is good as far as a relationship is concerned and what is bad as far as a relationship is concerned. People in relationships these days, I'm telling y'all, most of you motherfuckers want to live in misery. I'm not doing that. I am not going to fucking... I would rather sit in the corner of my house with my cat and talk to him all day than I would to have some fucking man or partner of any kind, whether I choose it to be a man or a woman or a transvestite or whatever. I'd rather sit in the fucking corner of my own home with my cat and know that everything is okay than I would to have to play these fucking little ping pong back and forth games with anybody. I'm not gonna fucking do it. I can be the most understanding, compassionate, generous person that you have ever met, but I'm not playing games. I do not. The only game that I want to play is Monopoly, or Scrabble, because I like those games. I'm certainly not going to play no fucking relationship game.